Welcome to the Goodyear City Council meeting. We're excited to have you be a part of this important public process. Tonight, you will have the opportunity to address City Council on both non-agenda and agenda items. The agendas and the speaker request cards are located on the tables outside of council chambers. You must fill out a speaker card in order to address the City Council. Please hand in your completed card to the city clerk before the start of the meeting. If the meeting has already begun, please hand it to any city staff. You may also check the "I do not wish to speak" option on the card. This allows you to still voice your opinion on an item on the record without having to speak. In accordance with the Americans with Disabilities Act, please contact a city staff member if you need any assistance. Public comment on a non-agenda item will take place during the citizen comment portion of the evening. These are items that don't appear on tonight's formal agenda. The city clerk will call your name when it's time for you to speak. At that time, please approach the podium and tell us your name for the record. You'll have a maximum of 3 minutes, and there is a timer visible from the podium. When the light changes from green to yellow, your time is coming to an end. When the light turns red, your time is up. Note that you may also choose not to speak if other speakers before you have said what you wanted to say. Shouting, cheering, and loud noises will not be tolerated, and violators may be removed for disrupting the meeting. Goodyear City Council meetings stream live on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and online at goodyearaz.gov. Follow the city's social media pages so you don't miss out on all that's happening in Goodyear. Thank you for coming to this meeting and being an active part of your city. And remember, it's a great time to be in Goodyear.
I'd like to call the regular meeting to order for March 7th, 2022. Please join Councilmember Stipp in the Pledge of Allegiance and Invocation.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Almighty God, our prayer this day is that you will fill us with your faith and love so that we might love you with all of our hearts. Be with us tonight as we do your work here in the city of Goodyear. We pray that we will make wise decisions in fulfillment of your will. We ask that you bless Marcia Steiner and the Steiner family as we celebrate Walt. Bless Norma Cunningham and her family and friends as we celebrate her accomplishments and gifts to her neighbors and the community. And continue to bless the members and leadership of Palm Valley Church for their work in the mission field. Heavenly Father, you are the strength for all who trust in you, and without your aid, we can do no good thing. Grant us your grace that we may please you in both will and deed. We ask that you continue to watch over our nation, state, and city, and be with the citizens of Ukraine, wherever they are. Keep your arms of protection around them. And finally, we pray that your strength and shields be with the men and women serving this city and our nation, both here and abroad. Amen.
Amen. Thank you for that prayer, Councilmember Stipp. We have 3 communication items tonight. The first one will be recognizing Norma Cunningham as the 2021 Citizen of the Year and Palm Valley Church as
Mayor?
the 2021. Yes?
The roll call, please.
What's that?
Roll call.
I said we're all here. Roll call? We're all
Okay,
here?
thank you.
Okay. We have 3 communication items tonight. The first item will recognize Norma Cunningham as the 2021 Citizen of the Year and Palm Valley Church as the 2021 Corporate Citizen of the Year. John Rader, Assistant to the Council, will introduce the Goodyear 2021 Citizen of the Year.
Thank you, Mayor Pizzillo and members of the council.
Thank you for the opportunity to introduce this important item this evening. Each year, the mayor recognizes one citizen and one corporate citizen for their outstanding commitment and contributions to our community. This year's 2021 Citizen of the Year is Norma Cunningham. At this time, we will play a short video about Miss Cunningham, followed by a reading of the proclamation by Mayor Pizzillo.
My husband is the artist. I was a corporate person for many years and did plan events constantly. I said, you know what? The world needs beautiful art. And so that's what we're going to do. I will do the planning, recruit artists so that we could show the world what beautiful art looks like.
Norma was one of the original Arts and Culture Commission members and really began to shape what our whole entire arts and culture programming looks like for the city of Goodyear.
We did not have any places that displayed Black art. Vision and sound is an African American experience. I recruit African American artists from different areas. It's been fascinating because most people had not been exposed to this, especially in the West Valley.
2021 was such a crazy year. You know, everyone was dealing with COVID. She was right there with us. She was ready to pivot and provide virtual experiences. The wonderful thing was we had people internationally watching the videos and lectures and being part of discussions and visiting our virtual gallery.
We had people from Europe, from Germany, from Africa tuning in to the virtual. It shows me that there is a need for this, and we have to keep it going.
Norma's amazing. I just can't think of a better person to receive a Citizen of the Year award.
I keep threatening to retire, and then the next year starts up, and somehow or other, there I go again. And this award really does, burn fire now.
Whereas Norma Cunningham has demonstrated tremendous dedication to the city of Goodyear, and her services has positively impacted our community. And whereas Norma has selected as one of the first residents to be appointed to Goodyear Arts and Culture Commission after it was created by the city of Goodyear in 2006. And whereas during her 6 years on the Art and Culture Commission, Norma as instrumental in growth of the Goodyear Public Arts Collection, the quality of the selection and installation of fine art exhibits, and participation in programs that support advocacy for the arts in Goodyear. And whereas, although Norma is no longer a member of the commission, she still attends meetings and helps expand the use of art as tools to strengthen community and build pathways to support a high quality of life in Goodyear. And whereas Norma's passion for the arts led her to create Vision and Sound, an African-American experience as a way to commemorate Black History Month and expand the appreciation and understanding of African-American art in our community. And whereas Vision and Sound has grown and flourished to a multi-week event, which includes Black artists and musicians from all over the state and has immense impact of our city, region, and state. And whereas Norma is an invaluable, and I say invaluable, asset to our community, and her contribution to the arts will have a lasting impact on our city. Now, therefore, be resolved that I, Joe Pizzillo, Mayor of Goodyear, Arizona, do hereby proclaim Norma Cunningham as the 2021 Citizen of the Year for her services to the Goodyear community.
Mayor, at this time, we'd like to ask Norma to please come to the podium to say a few words.
Please do, Norma.
Hello. Thank you, Mayor Pizzillo, and the members of the Goodyear City Council for the honor and recognition. I love my Goodyear family. Friends, supporters, and sponsors of all of our work, here and throughout the West Valley, and now growing into Sedona. I do not dare start mentioning people that have helped. And if I start naming people, I'm afraid I'll forget somebody, and that's the worst thing you can do, right? So I love everybody, and I will be individually contacting you, thanking you for your support and everything you've done to help us. I know when I call, people start sinking because they think I'm going to ask them to do something. But I just have to do that. So I won't ask you immediately, but, you know, after a breather, I'll ask you to help. Special thanks to Michael Cunningham, my husband, who has supported me for the last 30 years, no matter what crazy ideas or projects I came up with. Although he does come kicking and screaming. I heard this quote years ago in New York, where I originally came from. When you see something, say something. But more importantly, do something positive to make a change. I have a few more things I have to say. I love to tell stories, and that's why I'm in the process of writing a New York Times bestseller. And it will include all of these memories, but I have a quick one. Last Thursday, I was on my way down Estrella Parkway to see Dr. Garfield, who's my chiropractor. You know, the younger I get, the more the back starts hurting. So I decided to stop by McDonald's to get a cup of coffee. I was going to my left to turn. As I moved over into the left lane, I looked at my rearview mirror to see lights on a police car. Zooming! I said, oh, I have to get out of the way. I know he's not after me because I didn't do anything. So luckily I was able to drive into the McDonald's parking lot, and he came right behind me. I was like, oh my goodness, what? You know, I'm on a committee with Chief Rodriguez. Initially, when the police officer got out of the car, I thought it was the chief. And I looked and then realized that's not the chief. So I got a quick lesson in driving laws. He said, if a police car comes behind you, you're supposed to go to your right, not go in the left parking lot. So I said, he said, may I have your license and registration? Oh my goodness. So he said, I'll be right back. Checked my documents and he came back. And I thought to myself, while he was away in the car checking my documents, I could see the headlines on the West Valley View saying, the Goodyear Citizen of the Year is arrested. The weekend before the proclamation. should I tell the officer who I am? He came back to the car, and guess what? I was really embarrassed. My registration had expired. So anyway, I did learn a good lesson. I appreciate this officer who said, go home, get online, and renew your registration. I said, okay, I'll do that. And by the way, Michael Cunningham's was illegal also. So we're now legal. Thank you.
All right, John, it's back to you.
Thank you, Mayor. We also know that businesses and other organizations are an important part of the fabric of our community. And the mayor also recognizes a corporate citizen of the year for their contributions to the residents of our city. This year's 2021 corporate citizen of the year is Palm Valley Church. At this time, we'll play a short video about Palm Valley Church, followed by a reading of a proclamation by Mayor Pizzillo.
Palm Valley Church started with 40 people and have grown to multiple campuses over the years. As a church, we're just trying to do what we believe God has called us to do in this community, to meet the needs of the community wherever they might be. Over the last year, we've done quite a few projects in the community. We always partner with Olive Free Food Bank to provide food boxes. With backpacks and more, we provide school supplies, but also uniforms.
We were talking about how they have an event for backpacks. We had an event, some other community partners had events, and we said, what would happen if we decided to blend our events together to serve the community? That event went so well, we decided to do one at Christmas time because we were all doing a Christmas event together as well. So we had backpacks and more in the summer and then toys and more in the winter.
We want to meet the very tangible needs of the community, but to do it in a way that esteems parents. It's not for us to show up and be the heroes, but we want parents to be able to get toys, meet the needs of their family, and then pass that off to the kids as a gift from them.
The pastors there are amazing. They are always asking, what do you need? They don't just show up and say, here's what we've done for you. They call me and say, how can we step in and fill the gap?
We have the saying here at Palm Valley that says, we don't go to church, we are the church. And I think as it applies to our community, we don't live in Goodyear, we are Goodyear. We love our community, we love the growth it's experiencing, and we can't wait to see what's going to happen in the future.
Whereas Palm Valley Church is an important part of the Goodyear community, committed to serving and helping those in need. And whereas they play an integral role in identifying challenges, building community capacity, mobilizing volunteers, and responding compassionately to solve problems. And whereas Palm Valley Church is committed to caring for their congregation and all the people who may be suffering from trauma, loss, or addiction through classes, seminars, and groups. And whereas Palm Valley Church is a significant partner with our local school districts, hosting back-to-school events, teacher orientations, and appreciation activities, providing classroom material support and host homes for teachers hired from out of state. And whereas their backpacks and more projects provide school uniforms, school supplies, food, and connects community resources to hundreds of families and thousands of kids each year. And whereas Palm Valley Church Toys and More program distributes toys, food, and resources to make the holiday season special for children and youth in our community. Whereas the Palm Valley Church has demonstrated continued commitment to collaboration and partnership with stakeholders, nonprofit organizations, businesses, and the city to improve the lives of all Goodyear residents. Now therefore be it resolved that I, Joe Pizzillo, Mayor of Goodyear, Arizona, do hereby proclaim the Palm Valley Church as the 2021 Corporate Citizen of the Year. Witness therefore, hands and seal, cause the seal of the city of Goodyear, Arizona, be affixed 7th day of March, 2022. Come on up and have some words for us, please.
Usually the congregation's at my front, not my back. But, and I'm usually used to preaching for 35 or 40 minutes, but it's Monday, so I'm preached out, so we're good. Thank you so much. This is an incredible honor. Mayor, council, we really don't set out to win awards or recognition, but I think one thing that's really significant here is when we think about what a church is. A church is not an organization. It's not a 501c3. It's not a building. It's not a service on Sunday morning. It's a group of people. And these people have been inspired by God to make a difference in their community. So part of what we do through all of our activities is to not do it would be sin. So we're just doing what we're supposed to do. But there's a passage in the book of Matthew where Jesus is giving just a talk about what it looks like to live in God's kingdom. And he says this. He says, "Let your light shine before men, and let your good deeds be shown so that God gets the credit." And that's really what this is about. We hope that this community has seen a little bit about what God is like, what Jesus is like through our care and compassion. Thank you so much.
The second item is a proclamation in honor of Walt Steiner for his service to the city of Goodyear. As you are aware, last year we lost a dear friend, Walt, who served on our Planning and Zoning Commission. He provided a great service to the city and would like to read this proclamation in recognition of his contribution. Whereas Walt Steiner served diligently and admirably on the Goodyear Planning and Zoning Commission for 4 years and was a engaged resident, and whereas he was appointed to the commission on July 7th, 2017 to complete the term of a former commissioner, and was subsequently reappointed on February 12, 2018, and again on February 13, 2021. And whereas Walt was an integral part of the city's development process and provided detailed and thoughtful feedback on numerous development and projects in the city, and whereas Walt reviewed significantly projects like the Goodyear Civic Square, Goodyear Rec Campus, his contribution will have a long-lasting impact on the city and the lives of our residents. And whereas Walt always attended city council meetings and was deeply committed to improving the city. And whereas he loved the city of Goodyear and was dedicated to serving in his community, he exhibited a positive attitude and we remember for all his wonderful smile and friendly interactions. He will be epitomized the city's core values of adaptability, empathy, initiative, innovation, integrity, and optimism. And whereas the city of Goodyear will be forever grateful to Walt for his selflessness, service to our community, and will be greatly missed. Now, therefore, be resolved that I, Joe Bozzillo, Mayor of Goodyear, Arizona, do hereby recognize the outstanding contributions of Walt Steiner to the city of Goodyear and honor him for his leadership and dedication to the city. In witness, therefore, I have set my hand and caused the seal of the city of Goodyear, Arizona, be affixed 7th day of March, 2022. With that, I asked if you would, Marcia, would you please come up and say a few words, if you would?
Sorry. I'm very, very grateful for the opportunity you have given us to honor Walter. I would like to thank the mayor, Mr. Joe Bozzillo, all members of the city council, and members of Planning and Zoning Committee. Walter was very proud to be part of the Planning and Zoning Committee. He really embraced it, enjoyed volunteer for the city and work with the committee members. It was his honor to be involved with the community because he loved Goodyear, he loved America, and he fought hard for this country to preserve life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness. Walter was very special. He was honest, generous, loyal, friendly, charismatic. workaholic. He came to serve, not to be served. He had compassion and love for people. Walter, my love, despite you are being heaven, you are still touching many lives here. And you know, I believe he's there if he's beautiful and warm, smile, so peaceful and grateful for all of you, my friends, all of you have been part of his life. Thank you guys very, very much. Thank you for my friend. God bless all of you and God bless America. Thank you.
Third item is to recognize Millennium High School girls basketball team on their 5A state championship.
Thank you, Mayor Brazil and members of the council. As you said, the next item is to honor Goodyear's own Millennium High School. Last Tuesday night, the team soundly defeated the formidable opponent to win the 5A conference championship game, their fourth consecutive championship. Mayor Brazil. At this time, Mayor, if you'll please read the proclamation.
Whereas the mayor and council of the city of Goodyear recognize that the 2022 Millennium High School girls basketball team for their outstanding dedication and effort in becoming the 5A Division state champions. And whereas the Tigers have now won 4 consecutive state championships, and whereas in all 4 championship games appearances, the Tigers' average margin of victory has been 24 points. And whereas the Tigers have compiled a record of 86-20 across the 4 seasons run. And whereas the Tigers are only the 5th girls basketball program in Arizona high school history to win 4 consecutive championships. And whereas the hard work, determination, sportsmanship, and talent of this team has established a tradition of excellence. And whereas this team dedication and spirit has brought much credit and honor to Millennium High School, the Agua Fria Union High School District, the city of Goodyear, and the entire West Valley. Now, therefore, be it resolved that I, Joe Pizzello, Mayor of Goodyear, Arizona, do hereby recognize and extend congratulations to Millennium High School varsity girls basketball team on this astounding accomplishment. In it, witness, therefore, I have set my hand and caused the seal of the city of Goodyear to be affixed the 7th day of March, 2022.
Yeah, Mayor, at this time, I would like to welcome Millennium Assistant Principal and Varsity Head Coach of this championship team, Kevin Thompson, to the podium. Appreciate it. Thank you very much. Thank you.
All right, so my voice is still struggling a little bit. So if I sound at some point some cracks, I apologize in advance. It wouldn't be like me if I didn't immediately embarrass the girls. So I want to start with that. And I don't know what the protocol at the city council meeting is. I apologize for not being here before, but I would like for them to come up. So could I have, we'll just start bringing them up. Yeah. We have, I'm going to read their names to make it worse. With us today, we have Rachel Hink. If you can, and do the wave and say hello, right? No, you don't have to say hello, but wave. We got Rachel Hink, Danielle Villanueva, Reagan Grimsley, Kata Pierce, Mia Emonson, Elena Boss, the boss, Cynthia Lopez, Ryan Torres, and Mariah White. And it would be a great disservice if I didn't say thanks to Coach Charles Wilson as well, who's here. And lastly, the other players and coaches who couldn't make it, appreciation to them as well. But I don't want to say much, but I do think it's worth noting. I'm really tall. This is somewhat awkward for me. There we go. But yeah, so I've been here for 2 years. And in those 2 years, we've had a lot of success on the court, but a credit to the Goodyear and kind of the West Valley community. When I took over this program, it was not something that I necessarily had to build. It had already been built pretty well. And one of the cool things for me was the Booster Club was already really strong. The parents in the community, we had a ton of support. The girls were really committed. The coaches were super supportive. The school community was really supportive. And I think it's kind of a testament to the community that's here. And I'm still a bit of a newcomer, but I think it's worth noting that what is here is pretty special. And when I first got the job, I was nervous, right? The expectations were really high. There was 2 state championships in a row. So you get the idea. You got to win another one. And in one of the first team meetings we had, I was talking to the parents and coaches and just introducing myself and talking about what I valued, what I think it takes to win. And lovely Cynthia over there, if you can wave, Cynthia. I don't know if you remember. Cynthia, you know what story I'm telling? Do you remember? She already knows. Cynthia had an opportunity to ask questions, and this was during COVID, right? And it was in a Zoom call, and she says, I'm asking them questions, they're asking me questions, and she hits the raise hand button. And I'm like, Cynthia, nice to meet you, what's going on? She says, are you ready to win a state title? And it was kind of one of those things where it was like, yeah, I knew what I was getting myself into, but my response was, be careful what you ask for, right? Because if you demand winning a state title, then we better put in the work to win a state title. And it was something I got to remind them of throughout. But to close it, right? During COVID, we couldn't share basketball. We couldn't guard each other. We had to have workouts throughout the summer because if you don't go year round, you're not getting as much productivity as you could. And to hold that expectation high, we had to go year round. And our gym was being torn down at the moment, or the Augs gym, so we didn't have much space, and there was all these challenges. And we had to start at 5:30 a.m. for the entire summer. It was 5:30 a.m. workouts, and I was thinking, like, this is going to be rough, right? And I don't know who's going to show. I don't know how many girls we're going to get. And we had 27 people there the first day. And I looked at Coach Charles, and I looked at Coach Tamika, who's not here, and I said, hey, like, is this the norm for y'all? Like, everyone show up to and they said, be ready, because whatever you put out there, they're going to do. And they did. And when you mentioned the average margin of victory, that's why. It's the work that they put in, and the girls are really special. And I've been very spoiled to get to coach here. As an assistant principal, I'm stepping down after this year. It's a tough to go 2 and out and then step away and not wonder just the time with the girls, with the coaches, and not wonder about getting more. But I feel really excited for the future of the program and know it's going to be in good hands, and look forward to being a fan. And I definitely will demand the, what's it called? The administrative duties for all home girls basketball games. I look forward to that. But again, been very spoiled, and the girls are great, and the community's been great. So thank you very much, and we appreciate it. We just quick thanks for the previous award winners, Norma and Walter and the church. And while we're talking about basketball, these are like, I feel like it's worth acknowledging them one more time before we leave for everybody's sake.
Now it is time for the citizens who would like to address the City Council on any non-agenda item within the jurisdiction of City of Goodyear. Are there any speaker cards?
Yes, Mayor. Dave Bisson. Just right up to the podium, please. You'll have to adjust the mic.
I'm a lot shorter than he was. Can we make that 6 minutes? Just a request.
3 minutes.
I am Dave Bisson. I am a resident of Goodyear, and I just want to thank the city of Goodyear for helping us with a successful fundraising event that we did for the firefighters. It all came about 2 years ago, got put on hold because of COVID. A lot of work by the social committee making it happen. But on Saturday, February 26th, the mayor came out. I appreciated it. Vice Mayor came out and got to demonstrate his racquetball skills, which didn't help him on the pickleball courts, but it was still very fun. We've been working with Fire Station 182. The two Kyles that we work with, one called himself Fat Kyle, one said Skinny Kyle. They are not fat. They are well fit, as the social committee gals will tell you. We'll get to the totals here in just a minute, but the Goodyear Parks and Rec, we had a professional pickleball player. His name is Gizmo, otherwise known as Jay Hall, and he came out from Virginia. He was here for a tournament over in Mesa, agreed to help support our event because he was a firefighter / EMT, and he was willing to help the firefighters try to win. I'll give you the final here in just a little bit. But he put on a clinic for kids that was free of charge. The city of Goodyear reserved 2 of the brand new courts for us. They were able to get out there, had a great time. And I know they did because some of those same kids showed up on Saturday to watch the pickleball event itself. Again, well represented with the kids that showed up. So the big thing is that on Thursday we are going to be presenting a check to the firefighters in the amount of $11,762. And that all happened because of the different clubs that are up in Cantamia. They all stepped forward and said, let us help you raise the money. And all of them did a little bit different things. And the cooking club, I didn't think there was no way they could sell out their baked goods, but they did. The art gallery, they also sold some of their products out there. And then the food line, and just a well-attended, well-represented event. And on a sad note, I guess, is the firefighters did lose. We initially wanted them to feel good, so we said the score was 402 to 401. There was a little bit of a score difference in there than that, but the challenge has been laid down to have this to continue to be a yearly event. And if you want to see the trophies that the firefighters came up with, they are proudly displayed at our village center. It's a helmet that they came up with, and then 2 paddles that have, I don't like yellow. It has the 2 paddles that show the Cantamia logo as well as the firefighters. So again, thank you to the city of Goodyear for helping us make this a successful event.
You're welcome.
Thank
you.
Does anyone in the audience wish to speak on a non-agenda item? Anybody else? Will the city clerk please read the consent agenda, items 4 through 10 by title only?
Number 4, approval of minutes. Number 5, approve the appointments to boards, commissions, and committees. Number 6, adopt resolution number 2022-2215, delegating authority to the city clerk to make recommendations regarding liquor license acquisitions of control and providing for an effective date. Number 7, adopt ordinance number 2022-1527, amending Goodyear City Code section 2-1-5, council compensation, providing for corrections, severability, and an effective date. Number 8, recommend approval of a new Series 12 restaurant liquor license for some boroughs located at 50 North Estrella Parkway, Goodyear, Arizona. Number 9, approve the partial termination and release of a sewer easement associated with the final plat for Estrella parcel 12.23, phase 2. Number 10, approve the final plat of Pebble Creek Retail subject to stipulations.
Does anybody on the council wish to remove an item from the consent agenda? Seeing none. Can I have a motion and a second to approve the items 4 through 10?
So moved.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Ayes have it. We're into the business items now. Would like to remind council to wait for a motion and a second before discussion. First item on business is to consider approving the fiscal year 2023 annual public arts plan. Please introduce yourself.
Good evening, Mayor, council members. I'm Guyleen Oslancy, the Arts and Culture Administrator for the City of Goodyear, and joining me tonight is our Arts and Culture Commission Chairman, Fran Fee. Unfortunately, our Public Art Committee Chairman was unable to join us this evening due to illness, but Fran and I are going to do our best to be her wingman, so to speak, to cover her area, and I think we'll be okay. This evening during the presentation, we're going to hear a little bit about the Goodyear Arts and Culture Commission, some highlights from this past fiscal year, and we'll be providing recommendations for public art projects. With that, I'd like to turn it over to Fran.
Thank you, Guyleen. Good evening, Mayor Pizzillo, Vice Mayor Hampton, and council members. As Guyleen said, my name is Fran Fee, and I have the honor and privilege to serve as the chair of the Goodyear Arts and Culture Commission. Despite the lingering effects of the pandemic that threw everyone for a loop, the Arts and Culture Commission has had a busy and fruitful year. The Commission has accomplished many new projects which bring art and culture to our wonderful city. The Commission has completed a number of installations around the city, approved artwork for several firehouses, and hosted a number of in-person and virtual art-related events. The number and scope of these projects will be discussed during the presentation. Some of the things that we have highlighted for the fiscal year 22, we have had 4 projects completed at 11 different sites. We've had 3 projects underway that will be completed by the end of the fiscal year. We've held 6 arts events and a couple of new programs, a new pop-up in the park, and multi-generational programming.
Thank you, Fran. So through Goodyear Public Art, the Arts and Culture Commission has certain goals that they'd like to achieve. They're looking at building a high quality of life, strengthening sense of community. And through doing that, the public art program delivers on these. As well as doing those 2 goals, it also has this economic attractiveness to it. We want to attract, not only please our residents and have a beautiful community for our residents and those that live here and work here, but we also want visitors to come and visit and come look at our art. Maybe they spend the day. Maybe they decide this is where I should live or this is where I should work. And this really is the way that we talk about we want to establish a culture of art in our city, and we're accomplishing that through our growing art collection. As the Arts Commission looks at projects to put before council for consideration, they have tools and different goals that they like to achieve with those as well. They refer back to the Goodyear 2025 general plan. They're always looking to utilize local artists and involve our Goodyear business community. And we really want to ensure community participation in all of the steps of public art, whether that's through the beginning phases of conceptually designing those, finding opportunities for the community to collaborate in the creation of public art. And so in these ways, they really want to deliver a very sound public art program. Fran's going to share some current public art projects that the Commission is currently working on.
Some of the wonderful approved public arts projects that are in progress. These projects meet the goal of including art in city facilities. We really appreciate your support in these. Excuse me. We're very excited about the quality of artists that are and will be selected, and the fact that they are fellow Arizonans, many of them from the West Valley. We're pleased to have artist Jason Butler working with the Public Service Facility at Fire Station 188. He and his team will create architecturally integrated artwork that is responsive to both the community and the location and will be completed along with the construction of the station. Gallery 37 is a partnership with the West Valley Arts Council and Australia Mountain Community College, which provides teams a summer program to learn the business of being a public artist, These teen artists will be working with our city as the client to plan and make a sculpture urban trail cairn to be included within the Goodyear Trail, with the location as yet to be determined. They will experience all the steps of the public art process with municipality, from forming meetings with the stakeholders to completion on the project, and which will give them both college credit and an excellent set of skills to use in the future. We're also very excited with the success and positive public engagement within the heart of Goodyear. The project that we plan to expand to phase 2 and extend the life of the hearts that we have in our city. What was originally envisioned as a short-term display for our 75th anniversary can be extended by hiring 10 artists to repaint the hearts under the theme of Goodyear the Beautiful. The same hearts will be used, and in this way can be repainted every 3 years to extend the life of the project, which was so well received by our residents. We had many people going around to the different hearts, taking pictures with their families and making sure that they saw all the 10 hearts that were in existence so far. We feel confident that the quality of these projects will speak to the overall quality of the city of Goodyear offers. We're eagerly looking forward to seeing the final designs, then the fabrication, and then finally the distribution of these current projects.
So in this next section, we're going to look at the public art recommendations. And per the Public and Performing Arts Ordinance, the Arts and Culture Commission is to come before council annually to present projects for the immediate fiscal year and make recommendations for the next 5 fiscal years. So as you look at this project schedule, you are going to see that we have a recommended funding level associated with each project, and that's really just to give us for conversation. Through the plan that you're approving tonight, you are approving the projects and kind of locations of the projects, but the actual budget for these projects, approval happens during the annual budget process that the city goes through, and you'll be able to consider those funding levels at that time. So on this first slide, we're looking at the projects that are for fiscal year 2023. And we're excited to see some of our programs that we have done in the past coming back up for your consideration, one being our light pole banners. We do public art banners that have about a 3-year life expectancy, and we would like to see those replaced. We would like to engage 4 Goodyear artists to create a design that's ultimately printed on the vinyl banner, and we need to replace the ones we have now. They are up all through the summer, and they get a lot of wear and tear from the environment. Along with putting new public art banners together, we also are looking to fund putting additional hardware up around the Civic Square area along McDowell Road and 150th Drive to really kind of highlight that area, as well as that's going to be our new City Hall. Next project on here is our traffic signal cabinets. We currently have 23 artist-embellished traffic cabinets in the city, and this program is much like the Heart of Goodyear project. It gets a lot of public attention and excitement, especially when those artists are out there on the street hand-painting the cabinets. And so we are seeking to do 8 additional traffic cabinets to beautify our city. The Arts Commission is very intentional in the location that they place these cabinets. They make sure that they're on improved intersections, that it's got good view corridors, and there's not a lot of clutter from other cabinets located around the traffic signal cabinet. And then the final project that we're looking at here for fiscal year 2023 is a project at Bullard Wash Park. This is the area adjacent to Civic Square. This project is a recommended funding level of $250,000. And this project is about a series of artworks, of sculptural panels. With Bullard Wash being a linear park, we thought this is a perfect opportunity to do a series of artworks that encourages people to experience the entire Bullard Wash Park area, to be able to walk from one point to the other and look at these artworks as they go along. With its proximity to our City Hall, we thought this was a great time to have a historic focus on this artwork, and these panels could be a historical timeline, or they could identify pivotal moments in Goodyear history and visually tell a story. Now moving on to future fiscal years. On here we've got one community project and we have a couple CIP projects. The first being also at Bullard Wash, looking at fiscal year 2024. There is a bridge, Monte Vista Bridge, that crosses over top of our Bullard Wash, and there is a tunnel underneath there. And that tunnel is this great area that there's tons of pedestrian traffic that goes back and forth between those two sides. And we thought this would be a great opportunity to have this surprise of public artwork, to paint a mural under that tunnel. So as the pedestrians are under there, as our residents are under there, they can really enjoy something beautiful and to really improve that experience from traversing from one side to the other. The next two projects on our list here are capital improvement program projects, and the funding level that we're requesting on those are 1% of the project budget. The first one is our police department phase 2, and I do have to make a correction. In your packet, Mayor and Council, I had the fiscal year 2025 in your packet, and that was incorrect. I've changed it on this slide, but I just wanted to bring attention to that is a project for 2024 completion. And we're looking to do a very traditional sculpture that really represents those that serve, their care, their commitment to the residents of Goodyear, and to have something very visually beautiful if you have to go to the police department or any business or you're there. We really want it to represent and tell a story about our wonderful Goodyear Police Department. And the last project we have on here is the widening of the Estrella Parkway Bridge. This one's fiscal year 2026. This would be an opportunity for us to commission a public artist that's part of the project team to look at the bridge in totality and how we can do aesthetic enhancements along that bridge, whether that's doing artistic lights, looking at the railing and fencing and different things that are on a bridge and having artistic element in that. There's mosaic panels, there's sculptural elements, there's lighting elements that you can add on bridges that give you a different experience to the nighttime, to the daytime. And this is going to be a wonderful corridor that connects our central Goodyear to South Goodyear. And it's really an opportunity to beautify that area and have it be very representative of what Goodyear is. With that, I'd like to turn this back over to Fran to share some future thoughts.
As far as some future things that we have looked at, we're talking about the Ballpark Village corridor and adding some artistic enhancement to the city infrastructure there. We don't have any plans or any ideas at the point, but that is just something we want to look at. And the other one is Parc de Paz. We feel that we need to have a public art installation of some kind that involves the surrounding community and do it in a collaborative way. As we move forward and hopefully COVID-free, your Arts and Culture Commission is continually working to enhance the lifestyle and the beauty of our city. The Mayor and Council has entrusted our commission to help beautify our wonderful city, and I believe we have accomplished that and will continue to do so with your help.
Thank you. So, Mayor and Council, with Council support and leadership support, we really see the arts as a way to keep our residents connected, and we do hope that you see that with the recommendations that we've made this evening with this plan. So at this time, I would like to seek approval of the fiscal year 2023 public art plan, and that concludes our presentation.
Any speaker cards?
No, Mayor.
Anybody in the audience like to speak? Can I have a motion and a second to approve the fiscal year 2023 annual public arts plan as recommended by the Arts and Culture Commission?
So moved.
Second.
All right, who wants to start off? Over here on this side? Councilmember Kano?
All right. Thank you, Guyleen, and thank you, Fran. We so appreciate the work that our citizen commissioners do. You're so involved, and this is the annual report I always look forward to the most. I think it's exciting to see what your vision is and how forward-thinking you are with everything. Having served on the Arts and Culture Commission, I agree. I think one of our hallmarks is our community engagement. I think that's such a critical process of what we do. Certainly have community buy-in and participation. And I think everything that you've proposed is going to be very well received. And I know it's a big expenditure for the bridge, the Estrella Parkway Bridge, but I think the idea of getting an artist early involved in it, just like we did with the Civic Square, is going to result in a lot of great features and make it something special rather than just attaching an art piece on there and saying, here's your public art. I think the bridge itself will become art. So I fully support what you're doing, and I look forward to your continued creativity. Thank you.
Councilmember Campbell?
Well, I remember when we created this commission, and I know at that time we had a council member that kept telling us he didn't know anything about art, but he appreciated it, which we loved because so many of us see art differently than others. But we have come such a long way with this commission and with the vision that you're doing for the city, and I appreciate you encompassing our vision as well. Not only the vision of your commissioners, but of what the council wants to see for the city so that we have a cohesive, I guess, a cohesive way to do it. I appreciate the innovation that you have been showing. It's so much fun to see people do chalk and art. I mean, I've never seen so much art all at once, and you kind of get arted out, but between all of these functions and you don't know which to go to first, but we really appreciate it. I love the banners. I think that's a wonderful way for us to celebrate events and to show the creativity of our residents. I know so many of our artists are known all over the world, and they're juried artists, and we're very grateful that they are stepping up and being a part of this art movement in our city. I appreciate your recommendations for next year. I think it's going to be really interesting to see how it is. I'm not too sure about the bridge project, although I've seen a lot of the bridges all over the United States where they've had ornamental artwork, not artwork, but ornamental ironworks on the sides or whatever. And I don't know what we're going to do with that area, and I don't know how big that bridge is going to be, but I'm really anxious to see how pretty it will be, because it will be the entrance to our friends in Estrella, and we certainly want it to look nice for them. But thank you all very much, and thank you for bringing your vision forward. We look forward to seeing what you have every year.
Thank you. Vice Mayor Hampton?
Yeah, a lot of the same thing. I appreciate you bringing it to the council. I look forward to this as well. It definitely adds a lot of character and pride, hometown pride, and just sense of belonging here to the community. So I do appreciate your forethought in looking forward to more art, but also the existing art is great. I think a lot of people, I always point it out to my kids when I see the art cabinets or see artists painting on them in process, and like I said, it just adds a lot to the community, all the different artwork. So thank you for what you guys are doing. Tell the committee thank you as well. I'm looking forward to more art in Goodyear. I think it's what we're really becoming known for, I think, in the West Valley, is our art. So thank you.
Thank you. Councilmember Loretano?
Thank you very much, both of you, and for your commission, for the work you do. I'm happy with everything you're doing. It's just absolutely beautiful. The bridge, I know that's several years out, but I agree with Laura that Councilmember Kano, that it's going to be basically like an entranceway, a hallmark to the whole southern part of Goodyear, and I'm excited to see what that's going to be. And then the other areas that I always like when I'm just driving home, and they all kind of are together in a way, the banners, the hearts, and the cabinets. I think those are all home runs, because I know when I come home, when I see the traffic cabinet with the quails on it up by Estrella, that just really brightens my day. And I look forward when I see new ones pop up here and there. So, and I'm also excited you're going to be redoing the hearts, because I think those were another home run. So thank you both very much.
Councilmember Stipp?
I know my wife is not watching, but I'm going to rat her out. We go Bullard north to Indian School, and there's a traffic cabinet there that has like a whale. It's underwater is basically the look of it. And obviously I have influenced her over time, because she goes, I don't get that. And I said, I don't get it either, but that's art. So which is a twisted way of saying keep doing the good job that you guys are doing, because it's clearly making an impact. I mean, we talked about it. I mean, it was there as opposed to, oh, look at the silver cabinet. So I am anxious to hear what you're going to do with my money from this year, and will once again pledge my discretionary funds toward whatever public art project in the next fiscal year as well. So this is your warning. Come up with another project that fits in that small dollar amount for next year. But I still need an answer to that question, not tonight, but eventually. What are you doing with that? I've only been to one of the things that we've done, but I don't get art. I'm not creative, but I'm thrilled with what it's doing to the rest of us in the city, and it's really making it a great place. So keep up the good work.
Thank you.
Councilmember Bray.
Just thank you, Fran, and the citizens on the commission. Great job.
Thank you.
You know, as we had talked many moons ago about the cabinets, every time I go through the city, I'm amazed because I can't even do stickmen. I'm amazed at the quality of art that's out there in our community, artists that you employ doing these. And I'm fascinated every time I see it, and just keep that up because I really enjoy. It's a brightening of a day when you see that art on those cabinets. At least it does for me. And I've always told you my favorite is the little girl with the butterflies at our park. There's a lot of good ones, but that's just my favorite for some reason. Kind of reminds me of my two girls, you know. But no, keep doing what you're doing. It brightens the city when you see art like that. And again, I think Wally is mentioning me. Yeah, don't know what it is, but I like it.
That's why we love you.
Yeah, I know. So keep it up. All right, with that, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? The ayes have it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Last item on business is to consider approving in-kind donations for public safety services for the Sky Kids event on March 26, 2022. Please introduce yourself.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. I'm Tim Wayne, Acting Fire Chief. I have a brief presentation for you this evening to go over the Sky Kids event. It's an amazing event that's hosted here annually at the Phoenix Goodyear Airport. Sky Kids is a 501c3 that offers unique educational experience to special needs children. It offers an opportunity to fly in a general aviation aircraft with the expert pilot along with a parent or friend to experience the wonders and enjoyment of flight. I'm here tonight to request for PD and fire to staff this event moving forward. In previous years, we provided in-kind services costing about $2,500 to $3,300 per event. Both police and fire are supportive of staffing this event. And that concludes my presentation. I'll stand for any questions.
Any speaker cards?
No, Mayor.
Anybody in the audience like to speak? With that, can I have a motion and a second to approve a request to provide in-kind fire, police, public safety services during the 9th annual Sky Kids Day event located at the Goodyear Municipal Airport on March 26, 2022?
So moved.
Second.
All right, we start over here. Anybody on this side? Councilmember Bray, have anything?
No, sounds like a great project.
Good. Councilmember Stitt? Loretano?
No, it's great.
Over here? Wally?
Well, I look forward to this every year, and we didn't get to have it last year or the year before because of COVID. And I kept running into Rebecca and some of the folks that work it, and I promised them that I'd be at the next one. So I'm so happy to see that they're bringing it back. This is just so important to those children. And Sherry's husband donates his airplane and his gas and his time to take these kids up and do a little flight with them every year or every time we hold it. And it is so wonderful for that. We have so many pilots that do donate their time. And it just makes it so special because otherwise these children would never be on an airplane and they would never have that opportunity. And for the public, when we do have the Sky Kids, it is at the Goodyear Airport. It's free. It's open to the public to come and watch. and they have cheerleaders to cheer the kids on, and they have food for them, and there's music, and Joe Husbands usually is our MC, who we absolutely adore. He's the former manager of the Goodyear Airport, and it's just such a fun time, and sometimes we even have Miss Arizona there, and a few princesses, and the kids just love it. So I'm just so happy that we are providing police and fire for them so that it will be successful, because this is really just some of those kids a chance once in a lifetime. So thank you.
Vice Mayor.
Also, yeah, thank you as well. I think it's a great program. Do you know if someone wanted to sign up for it, they just go to their website, I imagine, the Sky Kids to sign up?
Yeah, I'm not sure the logistics of that, how it operates. I'm sure that the website would be a great place to start.
Yeah, that's what I'm figuring as well. So yeah, I know the airport, when I toured the airport, they were really excited to host this as well. They enjoy hosting this event. So I'm glad that we're participating yearly. So thank you very much.
Yeah, I think it's a great program. I've been there several times when I can, so I appreciate you guys working it. With that, we've had discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Ayes have it. Does council have any comments, commendations, or reports or current events? Yes.
Two things, Mayor. One is the Valley Metro Board of Directors has started negotiations with a replacement CEO for the retiring Scott Smith. We hopefully will have an announcement next week, Thursday, is what we hope to have on that. I've served on the recruitment and selection committee. It's been a very interesting process, along with our city manager, who had tagged or was dragged into it because of me, but it's been a very interesting process. I'm going to kill two birds, if that's all right. The other one is a request of the manager. Last week we had the discussion about what kind or type of road Saraville was, and the traffic engineer mentioned that it was not, Saraville Avenue is not an arterial, whatever the technical term for it is. And then this weekend I was driving down Pebble Creek Parkway and noticed a no trucks sign on Pebble Creek. So my inquiry is, can we find out if we can do the same thing to Saraville, south of I-10, and divert some of that traffic to what should be the arterials and keep it off of that collector or whatever that is. We all know Saraville Avenue is not built for the amount of truck traffic that it is seeing, nor do the neighbors appreciate it. And it is one of those roadways that does not have a median, et cetera. So I think we need to perhaps look at that. So that's my inquiry of the manager.
Okay. Councilmember Lortano? Over here on the right side. Manager, you going to talk about this, or should I show this? Or you got that?
Oh, well, I'm going to give a recap if then you want to share.
Yes, we, with the city manager and several of our staff, we had the Tour de Cure, and this was the award that they gave to us for participating. They really did a nice job. A little cold, 6 in the morning, but we had several people. And did you have there we go. There's the picture of our team out there that rode. They were in the was it the 22 miler? I believe.
23 miler.
23
yes.
mile? Okay. I don't even think I take my bike 22. No, yeah, I do. But anyway, it was a great event. What was it? If I heard right, they raised $500,000. Is that correct?
That's
there
correct.
was over 500 riders for the event. And, I got the proverbial 10, 9, 8, 7, as you go down to kick them off for each 3 of the riders, which was kind of fun. And I even toyed with, how about if we do 1, 2, 3, 4? But they wouldn't go for that. So, but we had a blast. There's a lot of people out there. And hopefully we will have this event every year. And it'll get bigger and bigger every year. So did you want to add to that at all, Julie?
I will. I'll just expand upon that a little bit. So just to recap for those listening, so it was in partnership with the American Diabetes Association that we had the inaugural ADA Tour de Cure 56 Arizona 56 bike ride last Sunday. So we had 577 riders and another 400 spectators. So we had about 1,000 people out there at the event. We raised $513,000 for this great cause to support the mission of the ADA. The city did put together a team Goodyear, and we had Lisa Berry and Gigi Burrell from the Goodyear Police Department, Don Reed, who was also our captain from digital communications, Sumit Mohan from engineering, Tim Wayne from Goodyear Fire Department, Randy Westacott and Christian Williams from Development Services, and we had 2 family and friends who supported the team. But I'm very proud of Team Goodyear. They did an outstanding job, and they alone raised $3,800 for the cause. So I'm pleased to report that we had no major incidences that occurred on the ride, just a few minor scrapes that were treated on site, and those riders continued. We did want to do a special thank you to Mayor Pizzillo. We were out there at 6 a.m. on Sunday morning. I think it was 42 degrees with a little bit of wind. It was brisk, to say the least. Cold. And you forgot to point out that they did play AC/DC Thunderstruck as you kicked off each of the 3 rides. But I wanted to seriously thank Goodyear Fire and Police for keeping the riders safe on the roads and organizing the unified command across all the jurisdictions that were involved in the ride. I wanted to thank all of our staff, Bruce Kessman and his team out at the ballpark, who helped coordinate the event. And of course, we wanted to recognize the American Diabetes Association for coming on board. And this was the original vision of Mr. Paul Dolan, the owner of the Cleveland Guardians, who was in town and participated on the 56-mile leg of the race. The event was a huge success. The ADA is pleased and already talking about next year's ride.
Good.
Thank you.
No, it was a great time, and I suspect if we get spring training back next year, we're going to have a lot more people out there. So it was a great event. So with that, let's see, the next meeting will be a work session on March 21st, 2022, beginning at 5 o'clock. Be no further business discussed. This meeting is adjourned. Woohoo!